Hey guys, it's Edie. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well. And in today's video, I'm going to be reading some summer romance books. I'm very excited about this. I always love reading like a summer romance or like a Christmas romance. I love reading books that are set in the sort of time, well, the season that I'm living in. So I've got 3 romance books that are all set supposedly in summer from the research I have done, and I'm going to read them in this reading vlog today. So the first book I've got is The Summer Proposal by V. Keelan. This is a book from my June TBR, if I remember correctly, I think. But from what I remember when I read the blurb, he is a hockey player, and I read that in the shop. I was like, yes, I need that immediately. And I don't know what the main female character does, but she's on a date and she thinks she's getting stood up, and this guy basically says, I've got tickets to the local hockey game. If you want to come watch it and your date stands you up, you can come watch it. She ends up going to that hockey game, and the person who gave her that seat is a hockey player. And I think they have this like summer fling, something like that, where they spend the summer together, because then he's going to, is it called like when you transfer teams or something like that, 3,000 miles away. I'm very excited about this. As you know, I love a good hockey romance. Next book is You With a View by Jessica Joyce. I've obviously haven't read this book. That's why I'm reading it today. But I know a lot of people really did like it. So I think it was either 2024 or 2025. When did it come out? I feel like it was actually 2024. It actually came out in 2023. But when it came out, I remember it was so popular on BookTok and Bookstagram and all of that sort of places that I did get it, but I just haven't picked it up. And each time like summer's rolled around, I've never managed to read it in summer. So I'm going to read it this summer because I'm very excited. I don't know if this is Enemies to Lovers or something like that, but I'm very intrigued. And then the final book I have is How to Write a Love Song by Catherine Walsh, and I believe this is some sort of summer romance, because if I remember correctly, on the blurb it says something about summer. Yeah, it says, but as summer heats up, so too does the tension between them. So I guess it's some sort of summer romance. From that, I'm counting it as a summer romance. But this is the what's it called, Lilac Library Special Edition. Look at those sprayed edges. They are stunning. But I'm very excited to read this. From what I remember, when I read the blurb, this is like somebody's writing a book or is finishing a book for someone because they couldn't finish it. And then it's the editor as well. It's something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I'm very intrigued. I think the book I want to read first is The Summer Proposal because, I don't know, it's just calling my name. I really want to read this. So this is the first book I'm going to read. And when I have an update, I will come back to you guys. It is now quite a few days later. I don't know how many days later it is. And I'm finally about halfway through The Summer Proposal. And this book is following Georgia and Max. And Georgia is being set up on a blind date, and she goes on this blind date and this guy approaches her and she is like, oh, are you the blind date I'm meeting? He's like, yes I am. And they start talking, and then her actual blind date turns up, and the person that was pretending to be her blind date was Max. And Max basically says to her, if your blind date doesn't work out, here are some tickets to a hockey game, and if it doesn't work out, come along and I'll see you again. And that is kind of it. And it doesn't really work out, her blind date. So she goes to this hockey game and there's the empty seat next to her and she's thinking, where is Max? He's not here. And it comes up on that big screen at the like games, and Max is on that big screen, and it turns out Max is a hockey player. And the reason why Georgia went on this blind date in the first place is because she kind of just like broken up with her boyfriend. I can't remember how long previously it is. I think it is quite at least maybe a year or two, maybe more like a year. But her boyfriend at the time decided he wanted to go do something in another country and thought it would best to break up, then get back together when he comes back to New York. She's in a bit of a limbo in the relationship space. So they're not officially together, but they will get back together possibly. And because she finds out things about her boyfriend's life in the place he's now living, she kind of wants to live her life more. She's had this like bucket list of things she wants to do, like nothing like crazy, but just like go on a vacation, spend 2 weeks away from work, because she is very much a workaholic because she has her own business she's built up from the ground, and she just wants to do like simple things and have fun. And Max has the summer off, and he proposes that they spend the summer together and like complete this bucket list that she kind of has. So that is kind of essentially the book, and I am liking it, but somewhat I'm like, it's just all right, because I think at least on Max's side, this book is very much instant love, because I can't remember if this is in the first chapter or second. I can't remember exactly, but he said that's the future Miss Yearwood. Is that his surname? Yearwood. And I was like, oh my god, yes. And then at the same time I was like, oh, that's a bit instant love. Like, if somebody was saying to you that in real life, I guess if you really like them, you'll be like, oh, okay. But if you're still not 100%, that's a bit like, oh, no. But I'm a bit conflicted on that. But I am liking it. I'm really liking Max. I'm really liking Georgia. I'm liking the story. I'm liking the writing. Do I think this is going to be a favourite? I don't think so. And it has taken me like 3 days to get halfway through, but that's because I've been busy with work. But one of the days I did literally sit there and pretty much read 40% of this book. So when I actually do sit down and read it, it's a very quick, easy book to read, and I am getting along with the writing style. It's just, I don't think it's 100% a favourite because of maybe that sort of instant love thing, I think. But overall, it's not a terrible book. I'm gonna carry on reading this. I've got the day off, so I'm gonna hopefully be able to finish this today. It is the next day. I did end up finishing this book yesterday, and I ended up giving it a 4 stars. And I know during halfway I was saying, oh, it's not a favourite. I still don't think it's quite a favourite because I did not enjoy the first half of this book as much as the second half. But the second half of this book, oh my god, it was so good. I had a couple of ideas of what could happen and where the story was going to go, things like that. My thoughts were completely wrong, and there was like this big like twist at the end when something got revealed, and I was in utter shock. Looking back, kind of obvious, but you didn't really know in what extent, if that makes sense. But I did end up really liking it. Also, looking back, this is like a summer romance reading vlog. Would I really call this like a summer book? It doesn't feel that much like a summer book, if I'm being completely honest. Like, yes, it takes place over like the summer, but it's not given the most summer vibes. And this book had me practically crying at points in probably the last like 20% of this book, maybe the last 10%, I'm not really sure, but like I did not expect that. It pulled so many emotions out of me. I really loved the storyline. I feel like I definitely need to read more books by this author, V. Keeland. I think that's how you have to say it. Because I did end up really liking it, and I got along with the writing style and everything about it I enjoyed. I think if you're looking for like just a fun, but also a bit of a tad emotional side romance book that does take place in summer, bear in mind it's not the most summer like coded book, I feel like you could probably really enjoy this book, and I would definitely recommend it because it is so quick and easy to read. But it's not one of the books you're going to read around like a swimming pool on your holidays/vacation. The next book I want to pick up is How to Write a Love Song by Catherine Walsh, and I'm so excited. This takes place over summer. I don't know how summer coded this book is going to be, but I believe it's some sort of author and she's trying to write a book, and the male love interest is the editor of the book. I want to say it's something along the lines of that. So I'm going to start reading and I will come back to you when I have an update. It is the next day and I'm about 100 pages through this book. This book is following Sam and Kira. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Not 100% sure. A year ago, Kira's father passed away, and her father was like this very famous author that had done this very popular, famous like fantasy series. And essentially he died, and the last book in this 10-book series never got written. In the will, it basically said she is the only one that can finish the series, write the book, and have it published, essentially. The publishers of the book get in touch with her and offer her a very big chunk of money to do this book as well. And she is like, yes, because she really wants the money, because she's living in her childhood home, which her father brought, and it's kind of fallen to pieces, and she kind of needs the money. So she says yes. And there's an editor that gets put on I was going to call case, but it's not a case, gets put on to the book to help edit the book and help write the book, essentially. Because Kira's living in Ireland and this book publishing company is based in New York, and she tells the main head of this publishing company that she's struggling, and he decides he's going to send Sam over to Ireland to go be with Kira and to help her basically write the book in person, and to essentially not write it for her, but help her edit it in person and just have that support there. He's gone to Ireland and he's there, and that is kind of the book, essentially. And all I have really to say at the moment is I am really liking it. I haven't really read much, so I don't have any strong opinions on it, but I do think it's sweet, and I do like the idea and concept, and I am liking it so far. I am now halfway through this book, and I am liking it. I am enjoying it. I'm really liking the characters, I'm really liking the writing, I'm liking the storyline. Nothing I dislike about the book, which is always a good thing, but I'm struggling on thinking what else to say for my feelings. Like, I've been struggling with this recently. I don't know what it is. I fear I'm in some sort of reading slump, but not a reading slump where I'm not reading in. It's just a reading slump where I'm not great at giving reviews, and it's taken me ages to actually read books, because usually I can be quite quick for a romance book. I can read that in like 2 days, and granted this is only the second day I'm reading this book, but I don't know, I feel like I'm in some sort of reading slump, but I'm still reading. I hope that makes sense. And I'm trying to give these good reviews, but I feel like my reviews recently haven't been the greatest, and I haven't even really been writing any reviews on Goodreads either, because I'm like, I don't know what to say. I do think this book is fun. I am liking the dynamic between, see, I've forgotten their names and I'm reading this book, Sam and Cara. That's their names, I do slightly remember. Like this other book that I read in this reading vlog, this is like a summer reading romance book thing. Wait, I don't know if that made sense. This reading vlog is like reading summer romances book, and this is not given really summer romance. It is set over like the summer period, but it's not like what I would think of like a summer romance, if that makes sense. But it was the type of book you would read this time of year. But I also feel like at the moment, all the books that I'm reading, I feel like they're just missing something. Like last month when I was reading things, I did not give any book 5-star in May, which is kind of crazy, because usually at least I have one 5-star book a month, and I didn't have any 5-star books. And I don't know if I'm just not loving books as much as I used to. I don't know if that's something to do with it. It's just really annoying. I want to love books and have that 5-star feeling, but I'm just not feeling that at the moment. And it really makes me sad to say that. I think maybe if I read this book at a different time, I might have rated it higher, but at the moment it's sitting in the 3-star. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm not hating it, but there's not too much for me to say about it, and I'm not loving it. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I feel like I keep saying that as well recently, but that is literally all I have to say, and I want to say more, but my brain can't quite think of much more than that. It is the next day, and I have now finished How to Write a Love Song by Catherine Walsh, and I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars because I still kind of felt the same way like I did halfway through as I do now. I did really enjoy this book. I thought it was cute, but I just wasn't obsessed with it like I have been recently. Well, in the past with a lot of books, and I've had that a lot recently where I just haven't been that obsessed with books, and I don't know what it is. I don't think it's the books, I think it's just me, which is so frustrating because I just want to be obsessed. I want to be like having those 5-star feelings, but I'm not at the moment. One thing I will say, it did take me a while to like actually believe in their chemistry, and I think I only started to realise that when they actually started to have like romantic interactions and things like that. I feel like the build up to their relationship was just missing that something, that like bit more of a tension. Even though there was tension, I wanted a bit more. I do really like that this book pulled at my heartstrings. There's some very sad moments, some very emotional moments, and I really did enjoy that. And there was this twist at the end of the book that I really did enjoy. I've seen some reviews of people saying they didn't like it, but I liked it. I felt like it made me want to finish and carry on reading the book. I was like, oh, this is getting exciting. Oh, what's going to happen? And I did like that. But also at the same time, I felt that sort of bit was unfinished. I feel like I have questions about that. Like, the epilogue was like 18 months later, and I don't think that came up in the epilogue. Correct me if I'm wrong, though. I just feel like it needed to be like a page or two longer and just explain everything that kind of I have questions about. And then I would have been very more happy with this book. Not saying I wasn't happy, because I was happy. I did enjoy it, but those are the few little things I didn't enjoy and did like about the book. But overall, I do think it's a good book. I did like the writing style. Will I read another book by Catherine Walsh? I don't know, I might. If I see it in the bookshop and it sounds good, I might read it, but it's not an author I'm going to gravitate towards. I will never say no, because this is the first book I've read by her, so it might just be the book. If I pick up another book, I might love it more, so 3.5 stars. So the next book I'm going to read is You With a View by Jessica Joyce, and I'm very excited. This cover alone is giving more summer vibes, so hopefully I'm going to get that, because those other two books haven't been the most summery books. So I'm going to start reading this book, and then when I have an update, I'll come back to you guys. It is now the next day, and I'm about 80 pages into this book, and before I tell you my thoughts, feelings, or how I'm feeling at this current time, I'm just going to explain the book to you. This book is following Noelle and Thea. And Noelle and Thea grew up together. They went to school and they were kind of rivals. And then fast forward quite a long time, they're now like in their mid to early 20s or late 20s. I can't exactly remember. They're in their 20s. And Thea's grandmother has recently passed away, and she has found these, I think it's like these pictures of this like other man that she didn't even know about. She never even knew her grandma was with like another guy before her granddad. So she's like, who is this? So she does the only logical thing, and she posts these pictures on TikTok basically asking for help, seeing if someone knows who this guy is. And it turns out someone does know who this guy is, and she messages that person, and the username is like anonymous. It's user like and then numbers, and she's like, let's meet up, let's discuss, let's talk. So they meet up, and that guy's there that's from the pictures with her grandmother, but also her like rival Theo is there as well. And it turns out Theo is the grandson of this guy. She keeps going to this like guy that used to be her grandma's partner, and it turns out they were together before her grandma got with her granddad. And she's just learning a lot more about her grandma. The people that have like seen this video on TikTok, because it went viral, are kind of like wanting an update, and she's thinking, what's a way to update and maybe get like money and opportunities? Because essentially also Noelle has lost her job. She had to move in back with her parents, and she's just kind of stuck with her life. So she thinks of this idea, because also when her grandmother was with this guy, they planned to go on this road trip that they never ended up going on. And she sees the map and she's like, wait, if I go on that road trip and take pictures and like stuff, post it on TikTok or whatever social media this is on, and hopefully it will carry on doing good like views wise, it can open up opportunities. So essentially she's going to go on a road trip. I haven't gotten to that bit going on the road trip yet. I haven't even gotten to her asking this guy if she can have the map to go on the road trip, but I assume that's what's going to happen, and I assume Theo's going to go with her, and that's kind of essentially what the book is. And I'm not hating the book, let me just say that. I don't even want to say I'm enjoying it, because I'm not, but I think that is because I'm in a reading slump. I think I am. I think the past month, I have slowly been coming into a reading slump, and I kind of hate it, because I don't want to be in a reading slump. I want to read books, but I just fear I'm in a reading slump, and I fear if I'm going to carry on reading this book, I'm not going to give it the chance it deserves, because I can see myself really liking this, but I just don't want to read it. I have no interest. I don't want to pick up any book and read it at this point. I don't really know why. So I think I'm going to DNF this. Soft DNF though. But I might wait to see till tomorrow, see if I can read any more of it, see how I feel. And if I still feel the same tomorrow, I am just going to soft DNF. But I will come back to it, because I am like somewhat enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it as much as I probably would, because of this like some sort of reading slump I'm in. And I've been in one reading slump this year, and this is the second one. And like before that, I've never been in a reading slump, so I'm kind of like scared. I'm like, I want to read, but I can't, because I'm like not enjoying the books I'm picking, even though I should enjoy them, which is really annoying, really frustrating. But I think the best thing to do is see how much more I can read today, see how I feel tomorrow, decide tomorrow, and then if I want to DNF it, I'll take a couple of days off reading, and that's probably what I'll do. I'm hoping I can carry on doing like reading vlogs and stuff like that. You'll know by the next video after this, or no, that will probably be a TBR, but the video after that, if it's a reading vlog, that's a good thing to see. I'm thinking of maybe the next reading vlog might be trying to get out of a reading slump. I need to be out of it already, because I hate it, I really do. But I will come back to tomorrow, give you a little bit of an update. It is quite a few days later, and well, maybe like 5 days later after I last filmed the clip for this video. I'm still in the exact same place, so I'm just gonna, well, I might be a bit further along. Can't really remember because it was 5 days ago, but I have decided to DNF this book because, I don't know, I'm just not in the mood for it. Like, I want to read it, but I just couldn't at that time. And I have read another book since this book, and I have come out of my reading slump with that book, because I gave it 5 stars. It was the 5th book in the Zodiac Academy, and I loved it. But I still just want to like soft DNF this book. I think I will hopefully maybe come back to this book. Maybe I won't. It will just depend. So I'm DNFing You a View by Jessica Joyce. Now I'm just going to go over each book I read and what I rated them. The first book I picked up was The Summer Proposal by V.I. Keeland, and I gave this a 3 stars. Then I picked up How to Write a Love Story by Catherine Walsh, and I gave this a 3.5 stars. And then finally I picked up You a View by Jessica Joyce, and I DNF this book. Overall, I don't think they were the most summery books I could have picked. They didn't like exactly scream like summer to me. And even though they were all pretty much set in the summer, they just didn't give me that summer vibes. But I would still recommend the ones that I did read, and I did end up liking them. That is everything for today's video. If you did like it, please do give it a big thumbs up. In the description below, you can find all the links to all my other social medias. And if you haven't already, do subscribe so I can see more videos from me. And I'll see you next time. Bye!